Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to give you that shortcut, that inside look at the innovations really shaping things, sometimes way before they actually hit the shelves.
Yeah.
And today, we are tackling a challenge I think pretty much everyone faces, especially if you're serious about your skincare. You know the drill, right? Morning rush, you grab the sunscreen, and then that sticky feeling, maybe that ghostly white cast. And you're always thinking, okay, when do I have to reapply?
Mm.
So what if I told you that sun protection, in the future, could be as simple, maybe as effortless as just taking your daily shower?
It almost sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? A bit like science fiction. But that's exactly why this deep dive is so fascinating today. We're not just talking hypotheticals. We're actually looking at the blueprints. We're digging into a recent patent application that's US 2250248911A1, and it's from a company called Colabs International Corporation. Our goal really is to unpack the science here, figure out who these innovators are, and really explore what this could actually mean for your daily routine, how you think about sun protection going forward.
Exactly. Think of us as your guides through this really interesting document. We'll try to show you the magic happening in the lab.
Right.
We want to translate these pretty complex scientific ideas into something clear, something you can use so you can get genuinely excited and, frankly, prepared for what might be next for your skin. So let's start by getting to know the company behind all this. Okay, Colabs International Corporation, what we know. This patent document, it gives us a really crucial peek behind the curtain. They're listed as the applicant and the assignee, basically. That means they're applying for it, and they'll own the rights. They're based out in Las Vegas, Nevada. And the inventor listed is Laura E. Cohen from Huntington Beach, California. Now, the patent doesn't exactly give us this dramatic origin story like in the movies, but the document itself, the sheer detail in it, it really speaks volumes about their focus.
It really does. It's quite striking how much you can infer from a patent application about a company's strategy. I mean, look at the background section. It's not just a formality. It goes into painstaking detail about all the problems, the inconveniences of the sunscreens we use now. You get the sense this isn't just a side project for Colabs, not at all. It signals a really deep, sustained commitment to finding better sun protection solutions, ones that work for real people. It feels like it's core to what they do, fundamental to their mission.
And crucially, this isn't just like one flash of brilliance they stumbled upon, right? This is where the story gets even more interesting. This current patent, the one we're looking at, US 2250248911A1, it didn't just appear out of thin air. The document itself says it's a continuation. What does that mean, essentially?
Right. A continuation basically means it's building on earlier work. It's an update, maybe a refinement, or even a new direction based on an existing patent idea they already filed. So it shows this isn't their first attempt. It's really the latest chapter in, a long story of R&D specifically in sun protection.
A long story is right. How far back are we talking?
Well, this deep history suggests they've been working on this for, get this, over a decade. That's quite something in a fast-moving field like skincare. This specific application, for instance, it links back directly through a whole chain of previous filings. It's a continuation of an application from June 2023, which itself was a continuation of one from August 2022. And that chain keeps going back through applications filed in 2016 and 2013, eventually leading to patents they actually hold now, like patent number 10,823 and 9,456,966. And even before those, there are mentions of provisional applications, sort of initial placeholders from way back in February 2013 and even November 2012.
Wow, 2012. So they were exploring these core ideas more than 10 years ago. And for you listening, the skincare enthusiast, this isn't just, trivia. It's significant. This long patent history, it suggests real persistence, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But it's also smart strategy. By constantly building on their previous work, Colabs isn't just tweaking the tech. They're building this kind of protective wall around their ideas, their intellectual property. That makes it much harder for competitors to just copy them and jump into the market with something similar.
Precisely. It signals a really mature, thoroughly researched approach, which, should give us confidence in whatever product eventually comes out of this. It tells us this isn't some fleeting trend they're chasing. It's the result of years of hard scientific work with constant improvements and, importantly, legal protection layered on top. It shows a company that's serious, not just about inventing, but about owning and defending its innovations in the long run.
Okay, that sounds incredibly solid. But let me just pause here a second. Why such a long road with all these continuations? Is that just things taking time, or is there an advantage to doing it that way?
That's a really sharp question. And while, yes, sometimes a long patent process can mean delays, here it really looks like a deliberate strategy. Each time they file a continuation, it lets them add new findings, maybe tweak the specific claims they're making, or broaden the scope of their protection as the technology itself gets better without losing the original filing date's priority. Think of it like building a house. You start with the foundation that's the early filing, then you add rooms or improve existing ones with these continuations. It keeps their intellectual property comprehensive and up to date, covering not just the first spark of an idea, but all the developments that followed. It's about meticulously securing their future market position.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So they've put in the time, built the foundation. What's the big problem they're trying to fix with all this R&D? I mean, I think we all know the frustrations. That sticky feeling, the white cast. Oh, I have a story. I went to an outdoor wedding once, slathered on sunscreen beforehand. And in literally every single photo, I looked like Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Seriously.
So the idea of getting rid of that is, well, it's a big deal. The patent's background section really does spell out these common complaints very clearly.
It really does. It talks about, quote, unpleasant textures, that white cast problem, and maybe most annoyingly, the need for constant reapplication, every 2 hours or right after swimming or sweating. And let's be honest, who actually does that perfectly? Very few of us, which means we're often not getting the protection we think we are. The document also mentions that people often just don't use enough sunscreen in the first place for it to work properly.
And it's not like people haven't tried to make sunscreen easier to use, right? We've seen SPF and lotions and makeup.
Yeah.
But getting it properly into something you wash off, like a body wash, that's been the real challenge.
Exactly. And that raises a key point. Why has it been so hard? Why haven't those earlier attempts to put sunscreen into, say, a body wash really worked out?
The patent itself touches on this. It mentions major technical hurdles like stability, meaning the sunscreen ingredients would just break down or separate in the formula. Then there's efficacy. Would it actually still work? And maybe the biggest one, duration of protection. How do you make it stick around and keep working after you've rinsed it off in the shower? That's a tough chemical problem to solve, right? And that's where Colab's big idea, their innovation, comes in. This feels like the real aha moment. You can almost picture it, right? Years of trying, maybe experiments failing, until someone figures it out. The patent's abstract and summary sections describe it. The key is encapsulating the sunscreen active agents inside a cellulose-derived capsule.
So picture these tiny, tiny shells, almost like invisible microscopic bubbles holding the sunscreen. And for you, the user, this promises sun protection that feels genuinely non-greasy, non-heavy, and finally gets rid of that awful white cast.
And that encapsulation, that's the absolute key. It's what enables this seamless integration and hopefully superior performance. Imagine your sun protection just built into the products you already use every single day. Your body wash, maybe your shampoo, conditioner, face wash, hand sanitizer, even creams, lotions, sprays, mousse. This completely changes the game. Sun protection stops being this extra step you have to remember, something you might even resent doing, and it becomes just an automatic, effortless part of getting clean or ready for the day. No more forgetting. Okay, but here's the bit that really blew my mind when reading this. The duration. The patent specifically talks about protection that could last for, and I quote, 1 day, 2 days, and even up to 14 days or more, even after showering or bathing normally. That's just worlds away from reapplying every 2 hours. Think about that. You could shower on Monday, go about your week, shower again, and potentially still be protected. That's not just convenient, that's revolutionary for sun care.
It truly is a potential paradigm shift. And to understand how they aim for that kind of longevity, we need to look closer at these capsules. They're made mostly from materials derived from cellulose, things like hydroxypropyl cellulose or ethyl cellulose. These are chosen because they're compatible with skin and hair, they're stable, and crucially, they can be designed to release their contents in a controlled way. And inside these tiny capsules, you've got your standard sunscreen agents, both the mineral types like zinc oxide and titanium dioxide, and the chemical filters like oxybenzone or avobenzone, a whole range.
You keep saying tiny. Just how tiny are we talking here? Because that invisible feel depends on it, right?
Excellent question. And yes, it's critical. We're talking incredibly small. The capsules themselves are described as being in the range of 300 to 700 nanometers. To put that in perspective, a nanometer is a billionth of a meter. So these are maybe 1,000 times thinner than a single human hair, extremely small. And the mineral actives inside, like the zinc oxide, can be even smaller, down to 50 nanometers. This nanoscale is absolutely key. It's what allows them to blend invisibly into products so you don't get that heavy, chalky feeling. And crucially, no white cast. they're effective without being noticeable.
So it's not just mixing sunscreen powder into shower gel. These capsules have a function. The patent mentions smart release. It says they release the sunscreen upon activation on an individual's skin or hair. That sounds very targeted. What triggers them?
The patent suggests a few possibilities. It could be friction, like rubbing the product on your skin. It might be a change in pH when it contacts your skin or hair, or maybe even just interacting with the natural oils and enzymes present. The core idea is that the protection isn't just washed down the drain. The capsule delivers its payload, the sunscreen adheres where it needs to, and then it starts providing that shield. It's like a targeted delivery system designed to stick around and only release the actives once they're in the right place. This is how it aims to overcome those earlier problems of stability and wash-off resistance.
And it gets even better because the innovation isn't just about sunscreen. This is where it gets really exciting if you think about your whole skincare routine. The patent talks about the power of combination. These capsules aren't limited to just carrying sunscreen. They can be loaded with other beneficial ingredients too.
Exactly. This is where it moves towards truly multifunctional personal care. We're talking about potentially loading these capsules with things like skin lightening agents, anti-aging compounds, anti-acne treatments, even anti-inflammatory agents or antioxidants. The patent even mentions ingredients for hair growth. And this is a big deal because many of these ingredients, especially things like certain antioxidants or vitamin C derivatives, can be really unstable. They break down easily when just mixed into a cream or lotion. Encapsulating them protects them from degradation, ensures they remain potent, and helps deliver them effectively right where you want them on your skin or hair.
Hold on. So you could potentially take a shower, and that one product could give you broad-spectrum sun protection, deliver some anti-aging peptides, maybe help with breakouts, all at the same time. That basically redefines the morning routine, doesn't it? It's like getting a whole skincare treatment plan in one simple step.
Precisely. This smart encapsulation could unlock a whole new level of performance for ingredients that have always been tricky to formulate effectively. It really elevates daily cleansing from just, well, cleaning to becoming an active, integrated treatment step for both skin and hair.
And crucially, this isn't just Colab saying it works. They've included data in the patent application. There's detailed SPF testing data presented in several tables if you're curious. They're on pages 41, 42 of the document. These tests show that the compositions actually provide effective sun protection, and importantly, they hold up even after tough tests like water immersion and repeated rinse-a-lather and syrup resistance tests. So it's not just theory. They've got lab results suggesting this stuff really works and lasts, even through normal activity and washing.
Yes, that data is quite compelling, especially because it directly tackles those historical challenges of making sunscreen work in wash-off products. And there's another really interesting finding highlighted. The patent suggests the SPF level can actually increase with repeated use over time. It implies a cumulative effect. The more consistently you use these products, the better and potentially longer lasting your protection might become. That's a potential game changer for getting people to use sun protection consistently.
Okay, let's wrap this up. Let's distill this down. What are the main takeaways for you, our listener, from this deep dive into Colab's patent? First, it seems pretty clear that Colabs International Corporation is seriously invested in pushing the boundaries of sun protection. Their long R&D history, going back over 10 years, shows real commitment.
Second, this sunscreen in a capsule technology looks like it directly targets the biggest complaints about traditional sunscreen, that sticky feel, the white residue, the hassle of reapplying constantly. It promises a much better user experience, potentially making sun protection feel effortless.
Third, what you can maybe start looking forward to is sun protection that's way more convenient, much more durable, and just feels better on your skin, built right into products you use every day, like shampoo or body wash. Imagine that simplicity.
And finally, this isn't just about sun protection anymore. Get ready for potentially multi-benefit products. The ability to pack these capsules with other powerful ingredients, anti-aging, anti-acne, antioxidants, alongside stable, long-lasting sunscreen, could mean a truly holistic approach to skincare, all delivered in one go.
So when you boil it all down, what does this mean for you? This deep dive suggests the future of how we protect our skin from the sun might look very different. It might be invisible, totally effortless, integrated into things you already use, and offer reliable, long-lasting defense without all the usual fuss and bother.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? Could this kind of technology fundamentally change our whole relationship with sun protection? Could it turn it from something we have to do into something that just happens as part of our daily routine? And taking it a step further, What other powerful, maybe currently unstable or hard to deliver ingredients could benefit from this kind of smart encapsulation? Could this revolutionize other areas of personal care, from hair treatments to specialized skin therapies? It certainly paints an exciting picture for the future.